welcome to Chair Yoga. My name's Debbie Mormon, and this class is brought to you by Family Care Health Centers in St. Louis. Please listen to and respect your body and only move in ways that feel safe and okay in your body. My usual spiel. So let's take a minute to get centered. So go ahead and bring some length into the spine. Reach the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders down. Lower your gaze or close your eyes and just take a minute to welcome yourself to this time that you've carved out of your busy and sometimes stressful life, to just take a minute to be fully present in the body and to move our bodies in ways that support our health, our physical health, our mental health, our spiritual health. So I invite you to focus today on what we call in yoga one of the yamas, which is Ahimsa. And it literally translates to nonviolence or non-harming. And while we can pretty easily figure out how to practice this in a literal way, like we don't go around punching people no matter how much they annoy us, it's the deeper, more abstract practice of the concept that's really going to help you lead a happier life. So I invite you to think about how you can practice nonviolence towards your body and nonviolence in your thoughts, or non-harming. And then when we end today and I do our meditation, I'll talk a little bit more about that non-harming towards the body and towards our thoughts or in our thoughts. But as you practice today, I invite you to just hold that intention of ways you can show kindness to others and, more importantly, to yourself. So just take a minute to think about that. And then take a minute to allow your focus to land on your breath without any effort to change the breath at this point. Just feel and connect with your breath, your life force, your prana. Notice what kind of energy you are feeling today within the body, within the spirit. And then let's just take 4 very long, slow, deep belly breaths together. So if it's helpful to bring the hands to the low belly, you can do that. If not, just leave the hands on the lap. But go ahead and let your breath out and take a long, slow inhale through the nose and feel the belly expand or blow up like a balloon on the inhale. And then exhale either through the nose or the mouth and feel the belly contract or draw back in on the exhale. And 4 more like that. Take 1 more if you like. Release the hands, gently blink open the eyes. And I failed to mention earlier, please grab yourself a yoga block or a large book or a footstool or a cooler or anything that can bring the earth up a little bit closer to you. All right, so maybe come forward a little bit closer toward the edge of your chair And we'll just start warming up by taking some neck rolls. So drop the right ear to the right shoulder and then draw the chin down toward the chest. Left ear to left shoulder and back up. And just find some fluid movement of the head. Make sure the shoulders are soft and relaxed. And check in with the muscles of the face and the jaw. See if you can soften those places. Just allowing the head, neck, and shoulders to be soft. The next time the head comes back through center, we'll reverse the direction of our circles. So now left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest, right ear to right shoulder, and back up. And then you flow. I like to keep my eyes closed when I do this. It helps me to internalize my attention and really focus on the feeling of the neck relaxing and stretching. One more. And we'll meet back in center in a neutral position. And we're going to take some body circles focused on our midsection. So the hips are going to stay rooted, or sit bones stay rooted down into your chair. And draw the low belly in to protect the spine, but we're just going to shoot the left ribs out to the left and then bring the pelvis forward, right ribs to the right, and then we round the back as we come towards the back. So we're just finding some circles with the midsection and the pelvis. So move in any kind of organic way that feels good, just to loosen up the spine. And the next time you come through center, we'll circle in the other direction. So right ribs out to the right, round the back, left ribs to the left, tilt the pelvis forward. Keep the belly in. More, and we'll meet back in neutral just to continue loosening up the spine. I encourage people to do the 6 movements of the spine every day to support our spinal health. Even if you have low back pain, and more importantly, if you have low back or any kind of back pain, it's so important to keep moving that spine. So we'll take some cat-cow. So on an inhale, draw the shoulder blades together, chest and belly stick out, the back arches, and lengthen the neck by lifting the chin. And on an exhale, reverse that. Scoop out the belly, widen the shoulder blades, round the back, and the chin drops. And then just connect that cat-cow movement with your breath. So inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Again, keeping the belly somewhat toned as you move here. Let's take one more. And come back to neutral. Option to leave the legs just like they are, or cross the right knee over the left knee, or the right ankle over the left ankle. Either way is great. Lengthen the spine, and we're going to come into a twist to the right. So the left hand comes to the outside of the knees, right hand reaches back for the back of the chair or the hip, whatever is accessible for you. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist. Maybe the gaze comes back over the right shoulder, or the right side wall or straight ahead. Check in with your neck to see what it wants today. So when we're talking about ahimsa or non-harming, that comes into play in our yoga practice. So we don't want to harm our bodies when we're trying to do something good for our bodies. So we can practice that ahimsa by only moving in ways that feel safe in our body. Continue with your deep, even breaths. And gently untwist, come back forward, uncross the legs if they're crossed. And we'll cross the left ankle over the right ankle or left knee over the right knee. And we'll come into our twist to the other side. So now the right hand comes to the left side of our knees. Left hand reaches back for the chair or the hip. However you can get a twist to the left here is perfect. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist. So yoga, I talk a lot about how yoga is not competitive. We're really just focusing on our abilities, our limitations. But when we compare ourselves with other people in yoga, that's a form of harming ourselves. We want to respect our limitations, our abilities, and not compare ourselves to other people. Keep up with your deep breaths in the twist. And then gently unwind, uncross the legs. And we will take a full body extension. So maybe you scoot back in your chair so that your back is supported. And we're going to extend the legs forward, extend the arms up, reach through the legs, the feet, the arms, the hands. Really give yourself a big stretch in both directions. I like to circle my wrists and my ankles here as I'm really reaching. And then relax it all down. And we'll scoot back forward onto our chair, and we're going to take our legs to a wide angle. And if a forward fold is a challenge for you, please bring your block in front so that you can take your forward fold with the support of your block if you like it that way. Or don't use a block. Whatever floats your boat. So we're going to lengthen the spine and we're going to hinge at the waist to keep the length in the spine. Either elbows come to the knees and the head hangs heavy. Hands come to the block and the head hangs heavy. Or the hands travel down to the earth and the head hangs heavy. For our first forward fold in our practice today. And you can stay just like this, but another option is to grab opposite elbows and let the torso just hang. Maybe you find a little sway side to side. Maybe not. You do what works for you. Maybe settling into stillness feels best for you. But enjoy that traction, letting the head hang heavy, that traction that provides in the neck. Letting gravity support this stretch. Good. If you're grabbing opposite elbows, go ahead and release that. And if the hands are on the earth, kind of halfway lift. And then bring one elbow at a time to the knees, so that we roll up nice and slow. So draw the belly in, round the back, and imagine stacking one vertebrae at a time on top of each other until the shoulders and the head are the last thing to come up. And we'll take a little side bend flow here with our legs still in a wide angle. So we're going to inhale both arms up by the ears. On an exhale, the right forearm comes to the right thigh, left arm up and over, keeping the left sit bone rooted. And then inhale, bring it all back through center, arms come up by the ears, and the other side, left forearm to the left thigh, side bend over to the left. And then inhale, back through center, palms touch. Exhale, draw the hands to heart center. So we'll just flow like that. So inhale, both arms up by the ears. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center, palms touch. Hands come down through the heart. 2 more times. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, side bend to the left. Inhale through center. Hands draw down in front of the heart center. Last time. Palms touch down to the heart center, and just take a minute to lower the gaze, drop the chin, check in with yourself. Consider ahimsa, what supports that non-harming ability in yourself. Good. Release the hands, lift the chin back up, and we're going to keep the legs wide here, and we're going to bring the arms to cactus arms, so the elbows are bent, hands reaching up towards the sky. And we're going to play with just sort of coming off the chair into a goddess squat. So we're lifting the seat off the chair, and then exhale, release it back down. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, release it down. We'll do 3 more. Building some strength in the legs. And release the arms. And let's keep the knees wide here. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing as we go. And we're going to take another sort of side bend with a little bit of a twist. So the options are to, like we did before, the right forearm comes to the right thigh and the left arm reaches straight up to the sky. Maybe the gaze goes straight up to the sky. Option to stay right here, or maybe you straighten that right arm so it's sort of in line with the inner right leg. The hand is kind of down by the ankles, and we're really reaching in both directions and breathing. And gently bring the torso back upright. Take a minute to recenter the body. And we'll take that on the other side. So we'll start with the left forearm on the left leg. Right arm reaches up to the sky. The palm of the right hand is facing the front of your room. Stay right here, or straighten that left arm so that it's touching the inner left leg, and reach in both directions. This gets into the core a little bit more. And gently lift yourself back upright. and heel toe the legs back together. We'll just take about 3 breaths to sort of rest here in our mountain pose. Good. All right, we're gonna play with triangle pose, a seated triangle pose. So if you have your block or your footstool or your book, we're gonna set it to the, well, let's swing both knees to the right side. That left butt cheek's gonna hang off a little bit, and you can bring your right foot up onto your block at whatever setting feels best for you. I have mine on the low setting, but you could also set it to the medium setting. I think high would be too much. I'm going to keep mine on the low setting, but the right foot is rested on your block. And then we're going to open the left knee either toward the center, toward the front wall, or maybe you extend the left leg straight back. And we're going to bring our hands in prayer position in front of our heart center. Remember that left knee can stay bent back if that feels better for you. And then we're going to extend our arms straight out to a T, and we're going to lean the torso over toward the right side wall, and then maybe that left hand reaches down to the block. No, the right hand reaches down to the block, and the left arm goes straight up to the sky. Palm facing the front of the room. Gaze can be down, straight ahead, or up at the left hand. Again, whatever feels most comfortable in your neck. But this is our modified triangle pose in the chair. Slow, deep, even breaths. And bring yourself back up. Rebend the left leg if it's straight. And swing both legs forward. And we'll take our chair triangle pose on the other side. So now both legs swing over to the left side of your chair. Your left foot steps on your block. Right leg stays bent, maybe points forward. You can still do this pose with that right leg forward, or it extends back straight, or maybe it's bent a little bit. You figure out what works for you. Bring the hands in front of the heart center. Feel the sensation. And then extend the arms out to a T, and we'll lean the torso as far to the left as we can, and then when we can't go any further, that's when either that left forearm comes to the left knee and the right arm extends up, or the left hand reaches down toward the block and the right arm extends up. Any version of this is perfect. It's your practice. You're the only one who can decide what's non-harming in your body. Slow, deep, even breaths. And gently lift yourself back up. Rebend the right leg if it's straight. And we'll come on back forward. We'll get a little hip opener with our figure 4 pose. So either right ankle crosses over the left knee, or right ankle over the left ankle, and that right knee just sort of drops open. Wherever you can get some sensation of stretch in the right hip is where you should be. Lengthen the spine no matter where you are in this pose. Breathe into that right hip. Maybe you give yourself a little gentle pressure down on the right knee to intensify the stretch in the right hip. Also the option to draw the right heel closer in if you want more stretch here. You do you. Keep the right foot flexed to protect the right knee. Good option to stay upright, or you can come to any kind of a forward fold over that right leg. Respecting your body and moving in whatever way feels okay for you today. And it can vary from day to day. Sometimes we want more challenge, sometimes we want more of a restorative, restful practice. Make it yours. Gently lift yourself back upright. Uncross the right leg. Maybe give the legs a little bit of a bounce. And we'll take our figure four on the other side. So either left ankle over the right ankle, and you can take your forward fold this way, or left ankle over the right knee. Left foot flexed, spine long and straight. Reach the crown of the head up. Draw the belly in. Remember your options. If you want more stretch, draw the left heel in closer to the right hip crease. Stay here or find a forward fold that works for you. If you're folded forward, try to let the head and neck hang heavy. Trying to soften that left hip. And gently lift yourself back upright. Uncross the legs. And we'll find a little flow here. So we're going to take the arms back to cactus arms like we did before. So the elbows bent, forearms, and hands pointed up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in, and on an exhale, we're going to hug the right knee in any amount towards the forehead as we round the back, widen the shoulder blades, chin drops. Inhale, back through center and cactus arms, lower the right leg, and then we'll just alternate. So now we're going to hug the left knee into the chest. And inhale, extend. Exhale, hug the right knee in, round the back. Inhale, back to cactus arms. Exhale, left knee into the chest. And just alternate at your pace. Remembering sitting and watching is always an option. Let's take one more to each side. And come on back to neutral. We'll take a little arch of the spine here after doing all that rounding of the spine. So scooch towards the edge of the chair. Reach the arms back if possible to grab the sides and the back of your chair. And then allow the hands to support you as you lean the torso forward. So we're finding all kinds of opening in the collarbone and the heart area. And breathe. Gently bring yourself back up. Inhale, both arms up by the ears. Exhale, twist to the right in whatever way feels good for you. Take a couple breaths. And release out. Inhale, both arms up by the ears. Exhale, take a twist to the left. And gently untwist, arms up by the ears. And see if you can keep the arms up as you stand up. Nice. All right, we're going to take tree pose. So let's stand so that your right leg is closest to the side of your chair. And we're going to root down through the four corners of the right foot. So this is a balancing pose. So the four corners are the ball of your big toe and your little toe, and the inner and outer heel. So root down through the four corners of that right foot. Find a still spot to stare at a few feet in front of you on the floor. More challenge is to lift your gaze up higher. So if you struggle with balance, find a spot on the floor in front of you. And we're going to bend the left knee and kick it out to the left, any amount. And our first option is kickstand pose with the left foot against the right ankle. So the left toes are still sort of touching the earth to provide you some more balance. And maybe you play with lightening the grip on your chair or bringing your hands to your hips or prayer position or arms out to the side, whatever works for you. Stay here if that works for you. If you want more of a challenge, you can bring the left foot to the right calf and play with your balance there, but keep staring at your drishti, or that little spot in front of you, and just play with your balance. So another option is to bring the sole of the left foot to the right thigh, and you can play with your balance there. But again, remember, there's no competition in yoga, so you just find the expression of tree pose that works for you today. Balancing poses are great for us as we age, so we're better able to keep or retain our balance. Remember, you have options for your arms, whatever works. Good. Bring the right hand back to your chair, and wherever your left leg is, go ahead and release it down to the floor, and just give the right leg, your standing leg, a little shake. And we'll take that on the other side. So now we're going to be standing with our left leg closest to the side of our chair. And we're going to root down through the four corners of that left foot. Find your spot to stare at on the floor or straight ahead or up. Remembering the floor is least challenging, up is most challenging. Bend the right knee, point it to your right side wall. Keep the hips squared forward. Kickstand, calf or thigh, whatever works for you today. And oftentimes our balance can differ from side to side. That's normal, that's okay. Don't judge it, just accept it. Find whatever version of tree pose is feeling best in your body today. You can also do this with your back up against a wall. That's always a nice modification as well to provide you some more support, or keep holding on to the chair. There's no prize for doing it any particular way. The prize is listening to and respecting your body. Practicing ahimsa in your yoga practice. back onto the chair. Release the right leg from wherever it is. And we'll take a big hip opener here. So I like to bring my chair. I like to kind of stand to, so I have my chair facing the back wall, and I'm going to bring my right leg, my right foot up onto the chair. So my right knee is bent, my hips are squared forward, my right toes are pointing toward the right side wall. And if you're feeling like this is a big hip opener here for you, stay right here. Another option is if that chair feels too tall to get your right leg up there, you can use your block and just set on the high setting and bring your right foot onto your block. That is another option if bringing your foot up onto the seat of your chair is feeling like too much for you. And we're gonna, stay here like I said, if this feels great. If you want to find a forward fold here, we're gonna try to do that. So again, we're hinging at the waist. The right hand can grab the back of the chair. The left hand can travel down the left leg any amount. Let the head and neck be soft and heavy. This is a big hip opener, so remember to listen to what your body needs today. Maybe you only kind of fold forward halfway, that's fine. Wherever you are, nice and easy and slow, lift yourself back upright and remove the right foot from the chair or your block, and we'll switch to the other side. So we're gonna put the left foot on the chair or the block. Left toes are pointing toward the left side wall, hips are pointing forward. Stay right here, because this is getting to the inner left thigh, the left hip. Stay right here if this feels perfect for you. Otherwise, hinge at the waist to forward fold any amount. Using that left hand for support on the back of your chair. Maybe the right hand travels down the right leg any amount, and then the head and neck hang heavy. And you're breathing, of course. Good. Push into the chair with that left hand to help yourself back up from wherever you are. And the torso ends up upright. Remove the left foot from the block or the chair. And we're going to play with Warrior 3 using the chair for a prop. So now I am holding onto the back of the chair and I'm standing behind the chair. And we're going to walk the legs back out like we do for warrior or for downward facing dog with the chair. And you can just stay here in downward facing dog, but if you want to play with Warrior 3, we're going to lift the right foot and extend the right leg straight back. Yeah, reaching through the right heel, right foot is flexed, tons of length in the spine, hands holding on to the chair for support, and breathing. Good, then rebend the right leg, replace the right foot to the earth, find your down dog with the chair. We'll take it on the other side. So now we bend and lift the left leg, the left foot, and reach back through that left heel, extend the left leg straight back, and breathe. bend the left leg. Replace the left foot to the floor. Find your down dog again. And lift yourself back upright. And we'll come back to seated in our chair. We'll find a little forward fold here. So I'm sitting towards the edge of my chair. I'm lengthening my spine. And again, we're going to kind of hinge at the waist to try to keep that length in the spine. And either forearms to the knees and the head hangs heavy, or the hands travel down the shins and the torso rests on the legs. Wherever you are is perfect. Just let the head and neck hang heavy. Focus on your slow breaths. Good, nice and easy. We're going to come on up. So if the hands are down toward the floor, go ahead and bring the elbows up to the knees. Take a breath here. And then use the hands to help bring the torso back upright. And we'll end the way we started with some neck rolls. So again, right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest, left ear to left shoulder, and just take those neck rolls again. Notice if it feels different from when we first started class. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. And reverse the circles. Going in the other direction now. Come on back up to neutral and scoot back in your chair. I'm going to take my glasses off because we're just going to give lower your gaze or close your eyes and just give your temples a little massage in whatever way benefits you. And then maybe you use the fingers to massage along the jawline. We carry a lot of tension in that jaw, and oftentimes we don't even realize that we're clenching our jaws. So it's nice to intentionally soften that area. And then maybe also massaging along the eyebrows or just above the eyebrows. And then just settle in for your Shavasana. So release the hands to your lap. Always the option to lie flat on your back or put your head down on your table or your desk. Make any final wiggles or adjustments. And then allow yourself to settle into stillness, lowering your gaze or closing your eyes, whatever you're comfortable with, to allow the effects of the class to integrate into the body. So I promised you a little more on Ahimsa during our meditation. So I'm going to start with that non-violence or non-harming towards your body. Not hurting yourself should be pretty simple, right? No running with scissors, playing with fire, or driving like a maniac should be pretty standard. but we all still manage to damage our bodies constantly. In our asana, which is your yoga posture, in our yoga practice as a yoga teacher, I see people ignoring ahimsa on a daily basis. We shove ourselves into poses and push ourselves too hard, and then wonder why our back, shoulder, hamstrings, whatever, are hurting despite all the yoga we're doing. There's a pretty fine line that we walk in yoga between discomfort and pain. My favorite cues, if you're clenching your teeth, frowning, or feel like saying the word ow, maybe it's time to pull out just a little. There's no magical prize for touching your toes. Just work within your body, in your capacity, to increase your ability without harm. We'll shift to nonviolence or ahimsa in our thoughts. So this is the least tangible and possibly most important way to practice ahimsa. Learning how to not think mean thoughts towards others is one thing. It's pretty darn hard, but achievable if you can try and remember that everyone, and I mean everyone, just wants to be happy. Much harder than this is if you're anything like me, and 99.99% of humans on the planet, in which case I can almost guarantee that your violent thoughts are more often than not directed towards yourself. The person in your life that you are the cruelest to, the hardest on, and the least compassionate towards is probably you. We tell ourselves we aren't good enough, aren't smart enough, aren't good looking enough, and aren't worthy enough, etc. So here's what you can do. Start slowly. Start by telling yourself that you love yourself each morning, maybe into the mirror, maybe giving yourself a big hug at the same time, or write a list of your best qualities, your best features, and read over these every day. Slowly but surely, these positive thoughts will begin to become second nature, and it will be easier to dismiss your unkind thoughts. Learning how to be nonviolent towards yourselves in your thoughts is a lifelong journey, but one which gives us the largest reward of all: happiness. Practicing ahimsa towards yourself requires work and time and a whole lot of patience, but I promise you that it's the best challenge you will ever make in your life. Go ahead and invite a deeper breath and some small movements to your fingers and to your toes. Gently bringing yourself back to this space. And then as you're ready, reach the arms up by the ears, the legs out in front. Give yourself another big stretch in both directions. And then release it all down. If you're on the floor, bring yourself up to an easy seated position, and then we'll press our palms together in front of our heart center as our our gesture of closing this sacred time we've shared together and that you made for yourself today. Thank yourself for that gift. And I invite you to become aware of your thoughts that you think to yourself, the words that you say to yourself. And imagine working on talking to yourself like you would talk to a dear friend or somebody that you care deeply for or love. Because chances are we would never say to other people what we sometimes say to ourselves. Start the challenge today. My soul honors your soul. I commend the place in you where the Spirit resides. I admire the place in you that is of love, light, truth, and peace, because it's also within me, and in sharing these things, we are united. We are one. Namaste. Thank you. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.